Morning. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome back to our channel. And today is the first live that we are after the marriage. So, where's my partner? Partner! He's doing something, so he welcome back soon. So, yep. Um, the other day that we were a lot of things to do, and we done actually a lot of things, and everything successful. Good morning, Cece. No. I think my niece. Say good morning to you, and thank you for your greetings to us. So, how are you, by the way? You're next. Hmm. All right. So yeah, the other day, we after the wedding, we actually going to the farm, and the reason why because you know we should going to the beach and meet my family there in Kawayan, but we changed the plans that you know it can benefit to everyone, and during this season because it's very dry season, so everybody is waiting for the rain when there comes, so they can start the crops. But until now it's still dry and it's hot. Even the school suspended because of the heat. It's 42 43 Celsius heat. Here we have, in our area, I don't know if the whole island is the same, but we have that here. So all the kids comes to the module study at home, and sometimes a week they do the face to face, half day only. So they can keep going to school, and yeah, that's it. We were supposed to be planning to meet my family to the beaches, but the beach, but we changed the plans because we want to help the people there for just a couple of weeks for them to consume, and that I think it's worth it. Instead that we're going to buy and then one day and then it's gone. The food, just one day supply is not enough. So we were planned to and yeah. So we're planned to do that for them instead to waste the time, waste the uh, it's not wasting, it's like spending the
Better.
money. We spend to a better uh, items. So we supply the rice 50 kg for each family, which is they are 10 there. Some of my siblings and other my niece and nephew also benefit from that. And yeah, they're very happy. So that's the video that's about the recent video that we uploaded in YouTube. And we didn't give lots of information to do that because we are helping my family for um, from our heart. We don't do it because we don't do it like we have to do all the information, because we have to recording everything and planning to go there, buying the rice, because we are more doing such a things to help others behind the camera. And we don't do, every time we do good things or anything to others, we are recording. So we do that behind the camera. because
Yeah.
that was from our heart. We don't ask for the return, you know, and we don't use this channel to do such as things to show the world, you know.
Just for show.
Yeah, just for show. We don't do this. We
Yeah.
don't do that. And we're just, you know, as you know, guys, that we don't, you know, always being upload a video because, as it, you know, not everything we have to put in the YouTube. And even before him, I always do that, you know, what I'm doing in the house, but what I'm doing in outside, I did not, you know, just give information because for me it's just like I'm doing that, you know, to because I'm not doing that because I have to record something to put in the channel.
Right. No, I see that with you. And there's so much of a need here. Oh, and hello, Floor. Hi, I see you on. But there's so much of a need here everywhere you go. So whatever we can do to help, and if we can help her family in the process, then that's good. I mean, because when you go down to the village in the mountains, there's 10 to 12 families up there living in a community. And right now they're really struggling because of the heat and the dryness of the past few months. There's no crops, so that's their livelihood. So, you know, if we can do something, like if I can hire them here for work and we can do some things and pay them, then that's a blessing for both of us. Because they don't want handouts. They don't want you just to give them money. They want to do something. They want to work for it. They have pride and honor. And so it's important to do that the right way.
Hmm.
You want to tell them about your youngest brother who's here?
Oh
Do they know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And also sad, but it's good that he do it. My younger brother, he actually had a woman that they're not married, but they have one kid, and he's living in the southwest of this island.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly, we don't know that his wife is abusive. You know, is he? She's not abusive if he had the money, but when he don't have the money, she's demanding, and then he's just blaming him because that's it. And then she just choose to stay and live close to her parents, and she don't want to live there because here in the Philippines supposed to be if you are going to live with the man has to provide you there a land, or you get the man from the woman from the parents and then live to where he is came from. And yeah, she don't want that, so my brother agree with her decision. But all of the sudden is she was abusive, and my brother he don't want to do anything, revenge to her, and he decided to just look for work here in this area to stay away from it because he don't want to hurt her. He don't want to do a
Cause any
physical,
problem,
yeah.
yeah.
And then he was there in her family is nothing can do about here correcting here. Yeah, they're tolerating her. So my brother explained to her that if you do this always, we have no future to go more, move out, moving future for us because you always rely, a small problem between them. She's always run into her mother and then look for sympathy and then lie about something that they have argument with her partner. So
Just
my
causing a
brother,
lot of
yeah,
problems. Yeah.
decided to stay away, and he's finding a job here, and now he's starting have a job, but he did a lot things here in the house. And my husband, he's uh, given him the money, to start. So now he have a job. He's working, have a regular job, and that was good. So every morning, and then we have an attic here in the house, because he, of course, we want to give him a privacy. And both of my kids, they have, each one of them, they have a room, and he don't want to bother them. So he said he chose to stay there in the attic, and it's nice room there.
It's a
They
bedroom
have a
up there.
bed.
Yeah, has electricity. There's a light up
Yeah,
there.
slight electric fan. In my beloved husband, he's provide a TV, smart TV to him, so he, when he come home, he can watch, he can enjoy, and then he have fun, and he's okay with that, and he's amazed. And we put a cushion, there in his bed, and he's very comfortable. And I am so happy to see him that when he come home from the work, he's happy, and then when he's leaving, he's happy.
Yeah, and that's good because he came up here to do some work for us in our closets. We had some rotted wood in the bottom of our closets, and so we hired him to pour some concrete and take care of the old wood. And so he did that project, and then he did some other small things around the house here, and he was going to go back to the mountains with where his family is. But then right after he got done doing the work for us, he found an opportunity for work at this company here in the town. So he went to the interview and got the job. And so it was a blessing from God that he would have gone back to the mountains and would have had to struggle like everybody else for work, and just another mouth to feed down there. So now he's got a job here where he appears to be well liked at the job. People like him and his work and everything. He's a very hard worker. So he could build a little career for him up here, and then maybe if he and his wife ever reconcile, they get back together. If not, then he can pay for his child and do whatever he's going to do with his life. But from a man's standpoint, he has a good job now, so that's good. And so if we can help him by giving him a place to stay while he's getting on his feet, that's good for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it's just been hot here. The schools have been shut down. The elementary school has been shut down or just doing half day because of the heat. They don't have air conditioning, so they can't do too much.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're just, we are loving life. We're spending time together. We're doing things where even if we just go out shopping, as long as I'm with her, it's a joy. It's like vacation for me. So I love being with my bride, and just we'll do things. And we're probably going to plan a trip in the summer, maybe in June, somewhere, like a weekend or something. And then we're also probably going to go to the beach somewhere locally on this island to see that too. So we'll do some small little trips coming up, but everything's going good. We're very, very blessed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm so blessed to have you.
Yeah, me too. It's great. And just I told her we're going to start putting our budget together, but everything's been so crazy with the wedding, and there's costs associated with that. So we got those things paid for. The wedding's been already paid for and done and everything, so that's good. And we're just doing some things around here, around the house still. So, but budget-wise, we're still doing good. So.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Yeah. So I think
we still have coming.
What's that?
Still have coming to spend.
Yeah. So we have her other family member here. So you know what?
No, I mean we still have a big coming to pay for it, because we're planning to, put because my house there is unfinished.
Oh yes, yeah.
So we're planning to put the ceiling and the tile, the floor, and then the door inside, the house, because it's all exit open, do of my, situation before. And yeah, we plan to finish that, and I have to put the sign for rent, because actually, even now, I don't know how many people already inquire or if that house is for rent, because they want to rent, because that house is built with a little store, so it's like
whoever rents
good.
Can have a business.
Yeah, they can start a business when they want to rent this house.
And once we put the ceiling in the rooms, then it will, because right now there's really no ceiling. You look up and you see the bottom of the roof, so it's secure and everything, but you need to finish the ceiling. So it's, if you want to put an air con in later, you can, and it will keep the cold air in. So we'll do the ceiling, and then we'll put tile over the concrete on the floors. It's not a big house, so it shouldn't cost that much. And then put some doors on the hinges, and that should be it. And we should be good. And then she'll be able to rent it and get a good amount of revenue every month from that house. So, and if it doesn't rent, then the family, when they come up to visit us, they can stay there.
I don't,
So either way,
I think
it's good.
It's well, once that house is on the for rent, it's
Of course. But if it doesn't rent, we'll use it one way or another.
yeah.
God's got it as a blessing for you, so it'll be good either way. But everything's good otherwise. If there's any questions you guys have, I'm trying to think of any other things. I'm talking to
Yeah.
my children about, we were thinking of getting together next spring back in the US, but my oldest daughter just got pregnant about a month ago. So next spring's probably not going to work because her baby's going to be a newborn at that point. And we were all going to meet in Los Angeles because Merlisa and I can fly to LA from Manila, and then we can stay in LA and they could meet us there. But if the baby's young, then she won't be able to really come on that trip. So if we do go, we'll just have to fly to Georgia and rent something, and then we can just see everybody there, and that's just a longer trip for us. But we'll see. We'll figure it out. It's not a big rush. We'll get those plans made. So, but everything's good. I mean, we are husband and wife, and we love it. It feels. I wake up every morning and just tell her, wow, I'm so lucky. I just can't believe.
I'm just a woman.
You're my woman. So it's great. We really have been alone, both of us, for a while, and we weren't really looking for somebody. And so it's, when God brought us together, it was a great match.
May I excuse?
Yes.
Yeah.
But everything else, I think, if anybody has any questions for me, you can let me know. I think she's stepping away for a second. Yeah. But I think that I will say this, just so people will know. Let's see. Congratulations on the wedding from Melbourne. Hey, Dale, thank you for the great blessing. Merle just stepped away. She's got to take care of something. But I'll just talk a little bit about from a foreigner, from an American's perspective, me coming over here. Like most guys, not like most guys. I wasn't looking for a woman. I was going to enjoy a place to retire, and I was going to travel around. And if I found somebody, great. If I didn't, that's okay too. But so when I found Merle, when we got together, it obviously made it easy because I can come over here and she was here and we can have our life together here. But I was okay with doing something alone, traveling around. But coming here with her, it was a big change of my ideals because I already had kids. My kids are grown in the US. In my mind, I was thinking, when I meet somebody, I don't want them to have children. I don't want them to, they don't have to worry about a job or anything because I can support both of us. But, I was just kind of looking like, hey, two of us together and that's it. But when I met Merle, she has 2 children and she has a big family. And so that's something I had to consider and say, okay, is this what I want? Do I want to be back in a family mode again? And I did. I mean, it wasn't my first choice, but I wanted her. And when you love somebody, you love what they have too. You love their children and their family. And I do. I love her children. So for me, it was a total change of my plans, because all of a sudden now I'm back in a house that needs maintenance and things. I would have just said, let me just rent an apartment or get a small condo or something. So, not to do that. But when you have a family, you need a yard and you need a little, it's nice to have a nice family upbringing environment. So, plus, if her family comes over to visit us, then the house is big enough and the yard is nice enough that they can come and spend quality time together. So being with her my plans have shifted, and that's, so we have this house and we have, you know, more of a normal family life. But I realize a lot of men who come over here, a lot of expats who come over here are retired like me, and they don't want this. They want to travel around. They want a small apartment or something, quiet. So it's it's a different mode, right? So, and yes, Dale, I see your comment. I am living here permanently. I moved here in December, so I've been here almost 5 months now. So yes, I did move permanently. I am retired. I say semi-retired because I retired, but I could still work if I need to, but I don't have to work, but I'm in technology. So, but my budget is different over here now, because if it was just me, obviously my bills would be less, because it's only one person for air conditioning, it's only one person for food, it's only my travel, all my expenses. But when you have a family, now the expenses are multiplied, right? Because she has young kids that are in school, and there's school expenses that have to be taken care of. There's more people to feed. So that's okay though, that's part of what I wanted to do. So when I look at my budget is larger than most expats in some areas, but I wanted to pay for the house and have no housing costs. So we bought the house cash, and we have the house, and there's no mortgage or no nothing. YG, your mom's back in there cooking breakfast for you. She's in over there, so you can go see her. So we bought the house, so we don't have rent or we don't have a mortgage. We have very minimal costs. There's I think $100 a year tax cost for the house, and that's it. So that part's very inexpensive. And then my vehicle here, I sold my vehicle in the US, so I bought a vehicle here and paid for that in cash. So we have a brand new vehicle that's paid for, so there's no costs of, or there's not a lot of maintenance costs either, because the vehicle's paid for. But when you have 4 people plus her aunt is here as taking care of the maid service, there's more people to feed and stuff. So our food costs are higher than what normal expats would have. Our electricity is higher, but the budget is still, I would say, I haven't done it yet on paper, but I think it's around $1,400 to $1,500 US per month. So, but then again, we've got a lot of charges in there that are unique to having this new home. Because as you know, when you get a new home, there's new things that have to be purchased. You have to invest in the landscaping a little bit and the electrical. There's always things you change in a house. So we've got a little extra cost because we're still in that new house phase, but pretty soon we're going to be settling down. We're not buying as many things for the house anymore. So I think our budget's going to probably go down to around $1,200 to $1,300 a month, which is great, because I mean, if we had a house payment and a car payment on top of that, then we'd be pushing over $2,000, $2,500 probably. But some things are getting expensive here. A lot of inflation is everywhere in the world, so it's not as much as the U.S., but it's definitely, from what I saw vloggers pre-pandemic, it definitely seems like it's more expensive than then. So, any other questions? So I'll be doing a budget video to give you guys an idea of what it's like for somebody like me who's with a family, because it's a different type of budget. So I'll be doing that probably in the next month or so. But once we get the costs figured out as to where the levels are. I also think that staying in touch with my family back in the U.S. is important. I love my 3 children. They're all grown with families of their own, but we used to spend a lot of time together. So that's been an adjustment, because we're doing everything over WhatsApp. Did you go to the Philippines before you moved there permanently? Yes, Dale, I did. I came here in September for a month so Merle and I could formally meet, because we've been in relationship for almost a year, but it's different in person. So now that I came here and I spent time here with her, and I kind of knew her well because we were talking every day. So it wasn't like, oh, tell me about yourself. We kind of knew about each other a lot because we were talking a lot and everything. So that was good. And then we did that. Hang on one second. Waji, please go in the other room. Go over there, please. The young boy is bored, so he's... Anyway, so we were doing a lot of discussions and things like that, so we knew each other very well. And then I was over here I lived here for a year when I was in the military, not in the Philippines. I lived in Okinawa, which was the next island north of here is Taiwan, and then on the other side of Taiwan is Okinawa and the Marine Corps. So I was living in Southeast Asia for a year, and I loved it back then. So I kind of knew a bit about the environment and the weather and kind of that stuff here, so it wasn't so much of a unknown to me. And plus, I wanted a change of life. I mean, all I can say is that the peacefulness that I feel here, the calmness is, coming from the U.S. and Dale, I know you're in Australia. I don't know if there's tension or stress there, but I know there is in the U.S. from a political standpoint, from a financial standpoint. So it's nice to come here and you really don't feel any of that. I don't feel any stress or anything about money, about politics, about any of that stuff. So that is really one of the reasons why I'm here, because I want a stress-free retirement. Excuse me. And I want to be able to do things together. I want to be able to do things with her and experience things. And, she can show me some new things and I'll show her some new things. And we can travel around a little bit maybe and take the kids with us. But I also want her family to, I don't want to say benefit from me being here, but yes, in a way, benefit from me being here. If I can give back, I tend to like to give to people who need and help out others and things like that. So if I can help the families, if I can help her children to see a future where they can go to school and get a good education and then maybe get a good job and get themselves set up and show them the value of the education, right? And then, looking for that career type job, which you can have. It's hard for a single mother to do that. So having a father figure here, even though I'm not their biological father, I can be that role model for them. So I agree totally about peacefulness and the way of life, but the Western world is not bad anymore, not bag anymore. Yeah, probably not. It's probably okay. I think it's finding someone who has the same values, and that's very hard to do in the U.S. where I was in Florida, and I just found that, and I wasn't someone who dated a lot of women or anything like that, but I saw people and just the attention is all on material things. It's hard to find somebody who's very well grounded. I mean, Merle, I love her values, I love her beliefs, I love how she is as a person, and I love how she takes care of me and how she loves me. So I couldn't find that in the West. And, and if it was something that I could have, then great. But I was okay being alone too. But I don't think, being honest with myself, I don't think I wanted to be alone the rest of my life, but I could do it. So it's just whatever God had planned for me, right? So I'm glad that we found each other. I'm glad that we're able to build a life together. And I don't worry about being scammed or being taken for a ride or anything like that, because if I am, it's a great ride. I love it. So I'm here willingly and knowingly and good mind and all that stuff. So, but I do know that some people do get scammed here. So I understand all about that, and I understand that you got to be careful about that. And I would just say is, know the person before you get involved with them. And if you get involved with them, do so slowly. If you're going to give somebody some money for a purpose or whatever, don't give them a whole lot. Be careful about your money and all that stuff. And then you'll see who they are as a person and how they react and how they're treating you and so forth. And then that will show the person's character. I was able to watch years of her doing videos where she opened up her heart about some of the challenges she went through, about some of the situations she was in. And I saw how she reacted to those moments when she was broke, when she was struggling, when she had to leave a place with her kids because she couldn't afford it and she had to go find somewhere else to live. And you could see the tears in her eyes, and you can see the character of a person. So I knew a lot about her before I even met her. I knew how strong she was. I knew how self-reliant she was. And I knew how good she was. I knew that this was somebody who was not bitter, or was someone who was not angry, someone who was not always trying to flirt with guys and things like that. So I knew a lot about her character before I even met her. Do you agree that most in the USA, like Australia, are more wound tight and stressed these days in general? Yes, I do. I do. I think that from the U.S. standpoint, there's a lot of division right now. I mean, there was always division anyway. It seems like back in 2016 when Trump came to power, and I'm not anti-Trump, and I'm not pro crazy liberal either, right? So I go both. I'm kind of in the middle, but if I had to choose between Trump or Biden, I would say Trump runs the country a hell of a lot better than Biden did. But anyway, there's a lot of division where you can't. Back what I remember growing up is you could be with people of the other belief and you could respect each other and say, well, if they win the election, then we follow their guidance and their plan, going under the assumption that both parties are just trying to better the country, right? But now it's become so divisive and so hateful that if you're on one side, you hate the other side, and I don't like that. But it's in all through society. You can't help but get bombarded by that division and that sense of anarchy that's out there in the U.S. right now. It's absolutely nuts. Everywhere you go, everywhere you turn on, every piece of media that you consume is like that, and I don't want to be involved in that anymore. It's just too divisive, and I don't care about that. So that's part of me coming here. But yes, I think in general it's very stressful. People consume their times with trying to justify their position on what side they're on, right? Or throwing jabs at other people. I don't want to do that. I mean, I have people on the left and people on the right who are very dear friends of mine, and I want to treat them equally and respectfully. So, but yeah, it's part of me coming here. I don't feel any of that. I'll go on YouTube or I'll check the online news at some point, and I will see what's going on, with the protesters and the political parties arguing and the economy and all those negative things. But I don't feel like I'm sucked into it. I feel like, okay, I can turn it off, and I'm here in this beautiful country of the Philippines with my beautiful wife and family, and just don't feel any of that here. I don't feel any of it. I could stay on top of it. I could stay close to it so I know what's going on, but I don't feel any of the negative stress. It's hard to explain how much better it is living here, for me at least. So let's see, any other comments? But yeah, it's been great. It's really been great for me, for my faith too. As a Christian, I wanted to go somewhere. I didn't want to retire and just retire. I was looking in Florida in the U.S. and there were retirement communities, and I'm not a big person like that where I go into these, where you're forced into friendships with people and just because you live together or something. But I don't want to be a hermit on a mountain either, alone all by myself. So I wanted to still have a retirement that was productive. And I don't mean like I have to work, but productive spiritually, where I could still maybe show the grace of God through me. God blessing me, I'm able to bless someone else, and just, he gets all the credit always, but make a difference and leave a place better than before you got there. That's my old adage. If you're going to come to a new country, if you're going to come into a new relationship, make sure that when it's time for you to go or leave, whatever, by not leave a relationship, but you know what I mean, you leave it better than when you found it. And that goes for relationships and everything. So that's what I'm trying to do, is just to enjoy our time together, enjoy our life together. And I really want to focus on being a good role model for her kids, for her two boys, because they don't have a father figure at all. And there's a lot of, I can see some dysfunction with them taking advantage of her and everything. And I want to be able to be that other balancing point to maybe take some of the pressure off her with always being the man and the boys and stuff. I can talk to them differently, and they'll listen to me more than they will her on some things. So I'm happy to be in that role and help her. So I also would say that I think that for us, getting married is just like another day. It's like we're deeply in love with each other, but it's almost like we're so together on all the daily activities and things. I can I can let her go during the day, and she does her things around the house with her sister-in-law that's here, and they do things together, and they can leave me here with her son, and I'll watch him and everything, and we're totally fine with that. Then we can get together and go do our errands or whatever we have to do during the day together. So we don't have to be tied to each other all day long, and she doesn't get nervous about me or anything like that, about, oh, what are you doing on the internet, why are you doing this, or blah blah blah. There's none of that nagging or any of that stuff, and I just totally respect her and her choices, and again, we're on the same path, and it's very, very comforting to be in that type of relationship. So I just can't say how blessed I am, how blessed we both are. God's allowed us to reconnect and get together. And I always tell her at night, I thank God that he brought her into my life. So, and she wasn't really looking for anybody. I see the old comments in her channel. She shows them to me where guys were reaching out to her, trying to, she says, catch her. They were trying to, entice her with things or talk to her, or making inappropriate comments or things like that. And that's part of why I loved her too, is how she handled all that. She didn't use people. She didn't play around with the flirting with other people and things like that. She was pretty, I don't need your stuff just because I might need it, but I don't need it with those strings attached to it. If you're not going to, give me something out of pure giving it to me, then I don't want it. And that's kind of the way she's been. So, but anyway, I don't think she's coming back. I know she went to go cook breakfast for her son, maybe me, but I told her I would keep this going for a little bit, so we can shut it down here in a few minutes. I don't see, the third person just joined, so maybe we'll see. I don't want to just talk. And the other thing too is I was ordained by a minister in the U.S. a long time ago, and there's a reason for that. I don't know. I've never been a pastor as far as in a formal church or anything like that, but I've always had a love for the Word of God and the Bible and everything, and I might do something along those lines with the channel. I might do some readings and my viewpoints and so forth, and just leave it out there for discussion, and people can talk about it. So that's one thing that I may go. The other route is just, because this is her channel and I want to help her and do some things for her here, but I want my kids to also have something that they can see my life and see the things that I'm doing. Don, from anywhere in the world, meaning the Philippines. Yes, yes. Yes, totally agree, Don. Dale, totally agree. It's, but and then the other thing too is I was in technology. I was a tech consulting engineer for some tech companies in the U.S. I was on the sales side as well, and so I've got a lot of those skills obviously still, and I've got some channel partners in the U.S. that have asked me to sign up for their program. So if I see companies here, but I told them, I said, look, I can sign up, but I don't need the money. Extra money is always good, but if I didn't make anything else, I'm fine with my Social Security and everything. So, especially the life that we have set up here. But, if something did come up, if there was an opportunity for me to work for a few hours a week or a little bit of time on my own pace and everything, sure, I'd consider doing it. There's another gentleman that I met that's in Manila, and he has a separate company, and there might be some things there, but we'll see what happens. God will open the door if it's supposed to be, and I still have value to bring to the business world and to customers who are looking for technical solutions and things like that. So I'm open to it, but I don't want it to be where I'm working that all during the day, Monday through Friday, I'm taken away from my wife, because I don't want that. I want to still be in the moment husband with her. So I don't want to be someone locked away in a room for 40 hours a week away from her. So if it's something part-time, then I'll consider it. But as of right now, it's retirement, and I love it. And we'll see what the next chapter is going to bring. Do you have any contacts that may be able to help you out doing any remote work? Yeah, I do. I've got a lot of LinkedIn contacts. I used to work for Zoom Video Communications, So Zoom was really big, obviously, during the pandemic with the video conferencing and everything. Great company. I absolutely loved working there. And they're global. Zoom had a phone service that was a global phone service, and I was on that side of the business. So I was helping schools and government facilities get their voice over IP phone system in place and migrating from old landlines and things like that. So I could still do that here. There's a lot of call centers here in Southeast Asia that's all they do. They're on the phone all day long. So, now the phones are being upgraded with AI processing and all kinds of technology around those type of things. So I could definitely do that, and I've got some contacts. But like I said, I can be selective. I don't have to work, and I'm fine not working, only if it's the right thing and I feel like God's like, hey, this is a great opportunity, go do this. So we'll see. Yeah, I worked for Zoom. I loved it. It was the best job of my life. I got to meet a lot of the leadership there. I was there on the startup phase of it, where they were kind of before they were public, and I got to see the leadership of the company, and I was working for almost 40 years in the US, 45 years, and hands down by far, Zoom was the best run company I've ever worked for, as far as taking care of their employees, taking care of their customers. I mean, I know some residential people who have, the free service and stuff might complain about things here and there, but if you're a paying customer and you're a business and so forth, I mean, there's a reason why Zoom is highly regarded by a lot of its customers, because of the company that's behind there. Oh, and who's this that just snuck up? I was just going to shut down. I said, well, guys, I don't know.
No. I am making breakfast.
She's making breakfast, yeah.
So soon I'll bring the breakfast here.
Okay. But I was telling them about my work. They were asking about my working for Zoom. So, yes.
Okay.
Okay, baby, thank you. So, yeah, so I liked working for Zoom. I loved it. And I could still do that work here. So that's what I mean, Dale. That's when you're with somebody, and we didn't just see each other. We've been together talking for a long time. We've been together, but the loving kindness that I get from her is unlike anything I've had in the West. So, and I'm not saying all Western women are incapable of that. I just hadn't found any. It's just that the mindset is different than over here. And so to me, it's in this last phase of my life, a long phase, hopefully, I want to be in a healthy, good, loving relationship. And I love it with her because she's not about things. I can't buy her anything. She always says no. She's always, hey, let's buy this, let's get that. She's starting to loosen up a little bit and let me buy her some things. But if I was back in the West, man, the hands would be in my wallet from day one. So it's just, I love that here, that she totally respects me. She doesn't, she's not all about my finances and everything. She is about, hey, just take care of the family and take care of us. But it's not like I need to know every detail. I need to have access to everything, which I'm going to give her anyway, because she's my wife, and that's how I want a marriage to be. I want it to be open and transparent. So, but you have to be with the right person. So I know there's guys out there that come over and they spend way too much money before they even meet the person, or maybe they're coming over here and buying things right away. I bought something right away, but I felt like I knew who I was with, and I knew the quality of person and the character of her. So if I did not know that or feel comfortable with her, then there's no way I would have invested this much, because I could have just gone somewhere else and done something. But I'd rather be with her than be anywhere else with any other things or any other people. So that's, I guess, the definition of love, right? So, but yeah, so I feel like there's still things for me to do. Even though I'm retired, I'm not just sitting around watching life pass by. I want to be actively engaged. And to me, I think you invest in the people around you. What can you do to help others be better or have it better? So I've got a big project. I've got her kids here that I can help along the way, which I want to. I want to teach them about money, about how to handle money, how to budget, things like that, that just, they don't get taught a lot to the children here. It's because, and it's not their fault, it's just the nature of being in a different country where money's different here. So if I can teach them that and the value of an education, and then help them with being being men who love and respect women. I want them to see me loving their mother in a way that models for them what it should look like. So it's not authoritative or you're bossing around somebody. It's a mutual love relationship and respect for each other. So good Filipinos are kind, caring, sweet, and most importantly, non-judgmental. That's what's wrong with a lot of it. Yes, I totally agree. I totally agree. And I think that it's that character about them that makes them so darn attractive. I mean, they're beautiful anyway, but I always tell Merle, I say, you're beautiful. When I say you're beautiful, I mean the whole thing, inside and out, honey. I'm not just talking about the outside. You are beautiful, but you're really beautiful on the inside. So I appreciate that. And I really, if you can find, and just because, I want to preface this, right? If you can find a good Filipina, because there are not so good Filipinas, just like there's a ton of not so good foreigners, right? So you have to make sure that you're finding someone who's not looking for a foreigner just to better their situation. That's, I guess, the bright way to put it. Which I totally understand. If you're in a dirt poor environment, that would be, you can't fault somebody for looking to do that. But before you go into a relationship with somebody, make sure that you're compatible. Make sure that she really loves you for who you are. She'd love you if you weren't having that pension check and so forth. From where you've been speaking about today, you sound like, thank you so much. Well, I'm just a man who knows the man, right? So I just want to be able to contribute positively wherever I am. Flourish where you're planted. I think what I've heard some pastors say, right? Wherever you're put, just flourish there and do good there, right? So I'm just trying to see how living here in Southeast Asia as my new home, how I can embrace it, and which I have already. I love the Philippine culture and the people, and I love the environment here. I'm still getting used to some of the things lacking from the West, but I think that will always be. There's always some things that you miss from your old environment. I mean, my life before here was so opposite of this. I was living in a really nice house in Naples, Florida, that I ended up selling 6 months before I moved. But that was a big, beautiful house in a nice high-end town in southwestern Florida, right near the beach and everything. And when I sold that, I went up to Sarasota, Florida, and I had an apartment that I had been at before. And that apartment was a fairly new complex. And it was a one-bedroom, small apartment, easy to clean, easy to maintain. I had nobody else there but me. Every shopping store that I needed was within a quarter mile of where I lived. So I could walk to 3 different malls. I could go to restaurants. I could go to the gas station, get a haircut, do my banking. Everything was literally within maybe a half mile of where I lived. So very convenient. I didn't drive around a lot. I didn't have to deal with crazy traffic or anything like that. So, and then coming here, it's different. And you could do that here if you're living in BGC or maybe in downtown Cebu or something, right in the city and everything. But my life is here, and I embrace this, and it's good. It's taken a little bit of an adjustment, but that's normal, I think. Sharing is such a good, yeah, and that's just, you know, I'm so blessed with her and her family, because when I went to see her father's grave, I remember praying over her father's grave, and I remember telling her father that you were a really good man. You don't know the legacy that you've set up here by the way you raised your children, because all of Merle's brothers and sisters are quality people. I mean, they're all hardworking, they're all friendly, they're all very proud, very humble, and very content people. And I know that there's horror stories about people marrying into a family and then it becomes a big ball and chain where there's money, it's a money pit and they're taking advantage. Totally not the case here. Her family does not want handouts. and they want to be able to work for things. They want to be able to do things, and I like to do things unexpected. I'll give some things before they even ask, and so I want to. If there's a need, I told her, it's like, and she's protective of me. She's like, I want to be careful of what we're giving because I don't want them to think that you're just an ATM machine, buying this or doing that. And I appreciate her for watching out for me from that perspective. But I've always told her, if there's a need, if there's something happening, if we can do it, to me, that's, money well spent. I mean, having more money in, yes, we need money in savings, and yes, we need to be financially a steward, right, to be able to make sure that you have this emergency fund and all this other stuff. No question about that. But at some point in time, if a few bucks can make such an impact on somebody's life than just sitting in an account for you, why not, right? So if you can meet a need and you have the ability to meet that need without hurting yourself, then why not? Why not? Why not? That's, to me, that's the best you can do. And the family, I feel that treatment from them that way, where they're not expecting, where they're not, taking advantage. So, but I really want to be careful because there's 10 or 12 families within the family. And I want to make sure there's no animosity between families, like, oh, he's given this to this person and that to that. I don't want, because I know jealousy can be a factor and things like that. So I don't want those things to be issues. So it's important for me to make sure that we're doing it the right way. And I love her so much because she's watching out for me. She's watching out, like, they need this one's going through this tough time. And I'll say, well, what can we do to help them? And she'll say, nothing for now. Let's wait a little bit. So her instant message to me isn't like, hey, I need this, I need that. A lot of times it's, let's wait and see a little bit. I'll tell you if something comes up. And so we talk about that and we go through that together. So I feel very blessed that she is looking out for me from that perspective. And again, that's part of the reason why we're together, is because I felt that from her from the beginning. I felt like she was watching out for me, and I watch out for her. So, that's what you want in a relationship. And I want transparency. I told her I don't want anything hidden from her, especially now that she's my wife. So I'm going to get her on my bank accounts and everything because she needs access to our funds. And we're going to put the house now. The house is in her name because when we bought it, we weren't married yet. So it's in her name, but we're going to change the title of the deed to both of our names. Not that I would need it for protection, but if something did happen to her, God forbid, I want to make sure my name's on the house so that I don't get kicked out. So, and she's totally on board with that. So we'll change some of those things. But I think it's important to know who you're dealing with. And I would just tell guys who are coming over here, who are trying to find that life, if you don't have to have somebody before you come here. It just worked out for me that it worked out that way. I wasn't looking for somebody. I wasn't on dating sites. But just come here and experience it. And don't just come here and the first time and do everything, right? Take your time. Meet somebody. When you're online with the LDR with a woman, if you are in that long distance type relationship, just talk to the person. Just have it doesn't have to be, anything more than just having a conversation. That's all we did. I would talk to her for an hour or so before I went to bed. And then the next morning when I got up, she'd call me and we'd be talking again for another hour. So we'd talk at both ends of the day, the beginning of my day, the end of her day, and then the beginning of her day and the end of my day. So every day we talked twice for a couple hours. And we were just talking about, tell me about this, tell me about your background, what do you like, what don't you like, those type of things. So it was really, really just getting to know the person. And I had the benefit of seeing all her older videos where she was pouring out her heart, pouring out, when you see somebody going through difficulties and see how they react and handle it, that's where you can really see the quality of the person. You can see how they dealt with adversity, how they dealt with tough times. Anybody can be loving and kind during great times, right? It's easy to be happy and nice and all that, but when you're down to the end, when you have like zero in the bank account and you have to move because you can't pay the rent and you have to take your kids somewhere else and everything. I mean, as a single mother, I just can't imagine the difficulties and the heartache and the unknown and the fear and all those things. And never once did she bitch or moan about it or complain or anything. It was just, there were times when she started to cry and stuff, but she just said, well, we'll figure it out and let's go. And so to me, that spoke a lot of volume to me in my heart about her character and who she was. So, well, guys, we don't like to keep these more than an hour, and I'm sorry, it's just me for the while here, but it's the family got hungry, and so she went in to cook. But I'll keep it up a few more minutes. Dale, it looks like you and me are the only. Well, there's 6 people watching, but I'll just highlight real quick that everything's great. The marriage is it's deepened our love for each other. So you see an attorney about if she has to leave most of her property relatives defined by their successors, you should get a legal agreement. Yeah, I understand. I do understand what you're saying there, and I just, I mean, yeah, we can plan for things. I mean, she's almost 30 years younger than me, so I don't, unless something happens where there's a car accident or something, but I don't, I'm not worried about that. And when, if I did not know the family, I would be worried about that. And so, oh, thank you, honey. Look at this. I mean, wow. I don't know if you guys can see. Wow, bacon and eggs. And
The bacon from the copa is not good.
Okay. Oh, it's not good.
No, I try to do I am an expert cooking bacon. I always like crispy.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to let you answer this question because you can answer it better than me. But and they're not saying it in a mean way. They're just saying you should see an attorney. If she dies before you, Philippine law means she has to leave most of the property to her relatives, and you should have the legal agreement. Because they were asking about the house, and I said, well, yeah, we're going to put it in both names and all that stuff. I said, I don't feel like your family would kick me out of our house or something. Like if something happened to you. So I'll let you answer that. Because I told them, I said,
show me your profile before you comment this. Anyway, yes,
Yeah.
here in the Philippines, but no. And I don't
if something happened to you, would I get
Yeah.
kicked? They're saying, would I get kicked out by your family because they would get the house, not me?
No. I don't think so. What is? Well, yes, that's correct. You should have,
Well, we're going to put
like,
my name on the deed with you, Mr. and
yeah.
Mrs. or something. So we just had to wait till we get married.
we can change, we can change the title through, or just affidavit. We can make, because if we change the whole title, we're going to,
I love bacon, guys.
we're going to, get the affidavit from the lawyer that is, the agreement that, he is part of, he is the beneficiary if something happened to me and something like that. But I don't think so. There's nothing gonna happen between.
No, I know. I
for
mean,
you and
I think he's just saying if you were to die, then the car and the house and everything, the family could take it and say, sorry, Joe, she's our family, not yours, and blah, blah, blah.
No.
I don't
Maybe
think-
some of families they do that, but I don't think my family can they do that to him because
Yeah.
my family is not like a scammer. Maybe.
Thanks, Dale.
Yeah.
Yep.
Something like that. So.
Yeah, I think that I'm not worried about that. I honestly, if I was worried about that, I wouldn't have bought the house. If I was worried that there was going to be shenanigans or there was going to be things taken or it was not done on the up and up, there's no way that I would have sent her the money to get the house, because I sent her the money to buy the house. I was in the U.S. We saw the house right before I came back. And this house was going to go to somebody else. We didn't buy it.
Yes. And then, if my
If
family
she
or
was going to
me,
scam me, she's had a lot of opportunities already to scam me.
yeah.
So it's
When he was in the US, he sent me one time the amount of 6 million,
right.
and to
Pesos.
purchase the pesos
Yeah.
to purchase this house.
Hmm.
And because that's our first meeting in September, and he stay here for 3 weeks.
Hmm.
And if I am scamming him, then
I would have
I
never
have
saw her again.
opportunity, and I said, okay, don't come back. I don't want to purchase this house if you know, I am a bad person. But no, the money is just a money, but the trust in God watching us, that's what the most important. Do good to others and be good to others, because that is the worth more than the money. But I understand some foreigner it's been scammed by a
Yes.
Filipino. Yeah.
Yes.
And which is I understand, but
Yes.
you will have to know the person,
Hmm.
first.
Yeah, that's right. Not.
And
Yeah, I
you
would
can
not.
feel that if you want to let them to take advantage you, then they were gonna take advantage you. But him, if I want to take advantage him, I did that, many times because he's so generous. But no, for me is permanent. For me is like, all those things is just temporary.
Right. And I don't want to be in a relationship where I have to have all these agreements because I'm nervous about getting scammed. Because is that really somebody you love that's going to do that to you? I believe that if you find the right person and you're with the right person that God's brought you together with, and you both are smart enough, obviously, you want, and the U.S., when you come from the West or you come from another country where divorce is rampant, where people are just marrying for money, and they're putting agreements in place because this one's like, okay, now I just hit the lotto. I married this rich guy or this rich girl or whatever, and now if we get divorced, I get half of what she has and everything, and blah blah blah, and all this stuff. That's not the type of relationship I want. I'd rather stay single. I don't want to be with somebody if I can't trust the person, then that's not love. If I have to worry about my bank account being stolen or things like that, then I shouldn't be with the person. Then that I don't really love the person because I don't feel comfortable to do that. So with her, I do. I feel totally comfortable. I feel like we're one in a lot of areas. And if she does scam me, it it it's like it'll if it happens, it happens. I look at it like, you know what? It's only money. God's watching over our relationship, and she'll have to answer to God if she does something bad to me, and just like I would have to answer if I did something to her. So when I go into a relationship with someone, if I'm going to get serious with a woman, then the two shall become one. And you can't become one without keeping all your financials off over here, because you're not really one then, right? So then don't get married to the person. If you have to have all these things in place and everything, then you're obviously not right for each other. Because if you're really going to be one, the one does not hurt themselves, right, when you're together, because we're both working toward a common, I don't know if I said that right, but.
Yes, you did. Well,
But I understand why you're asking the question.
yeah, but y- it's true because it happens to
It does.
others.
It
Yeah,
does. But
but
that doesn't mean all.
yeah, it doesn't mean all of us is the same,
And I was
because
telling him that your family is very good. Your family is very. I'm trying to think of the word I want to use. They're very respectful and honorable.
and they
They're
just
not
don't.
going to here try to steal stuff.
Yeah, they don't want to just get the money and then
Right.
without effort, they asking for work and
Right.
do this, which is I am comfortable with my family that to do work, because you can correct them anytime that said, oh, you have to do this, oh, you should have to do that. Same thing like we do put the razor wire and they have a hard time, and then I gave it them, I said, you should have to do this, hire more and do this, flip like this, because if you hire someone, if what you're giving them like instruction one time, And then that's all what they need. You can't change because they're going to say, "We just follow what your instruction." You cannot correct during their work time. And that was hard because other people, they might thinking, "Oh, we ask more, because you do this. You ask more, labor because you want us to do that." Something like that. So
Yeah, and her family was really all the work that they've done around
how
here.
do you how do you scroll down?
You go over here, and the new comments go on the end. See, I got live chat.
Yeah, there's so many down there. And
Oh, take care, buddy. Good wife. Give him happy tummy. Yes, yeah, they are. Yes, I'm eating baboy. Oh. You can't own property if you are a foreigner, but there are legal ways you can ensure you don't get locked out of the property, kicked out of the property. But I'm going to get legal agreement from an attorney so I can stay there if she dies first. So, and I understand that. That's why I want to get my name on the deed so that it's Mr. and Mrs. So if something did happen to her, my name would still be attached to the property. So I could say, I'm staying here with her boys, because if something happened to her, I'm not leaving. I've got to take care of her boys then, because they still have to be taken care of. They're still our children. And same thing with her. If something happened to me, she's going to stay too. It's the inheritance laws you need to make sure you don't fall foul of. I think as your wife has a son, it would all go to him. Oh, good Lord, VJ. So you should also adopt him. Oh, yeah.
no,
I don't know.
you
You
don't-
answer that. I'll let you answer that.
and no, it's not necessary because not to adopt. Because we were going to have affidavit that whoever. And why I'm dying? I am too young. Hello.
No, I know, but accidents do happen. I understand what people are saying. They're saying
Accident,
like,
yeah, it's
it's
not gonna
something.
happen.
No, I know, but you plan on not to, but
Yeah, I understand. It's just for the safety, but I don't think so.
because that was my thing. That was my thing. That was the only protection I wanted, was that if something happened to you, that I would still be able to live here.
Of course.
That's why I thought, well, if we put the deed in my name too, then if something happened to you, then I'm protected. If something happened to me, you're fine too.
Gani's burger, his wife is died because of the cancer. Uh, you know, for how many years, and then he's still living here, and then even married for the another woman now because he's widow. And yeah, the properties is still him, and she had a son from somebody, and the business also his own. So it's nothing gonna problem that, because he have his wife have a good family, and they actually, those people working that in the restaurant, it's a relative of his first wife family.
Wow.
So they have a good relationship, and nothing gonna happen like what he had maybe, or what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But I understand. I totally understand that he's talking about, or here talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. That's the last.
I think if your wife has a son, it would all go to him. So you should also adopt him. Oh,
No,
I don't know. I don't think we have plans to do that.
don't worry. We're going to make one a daughter. So it goes to here.
We are not planning on that. We're planning on being happy together for a long time. But I understand the caution people have, and I get it. I'm not naive to it. But I don't feel any threat. Because believe me, if I felt uncomfortable with her family, or I felt like her, then that would be a concern, because there's horror stories about guys who come over and do spend money and buy things, and then whenever something goes wrong, it's like, okay, get out, you have to leave now, this and that. And the guy can say, well, I paid for the house. Well, sorry, it's not your house. Thank you very much, go, right? I know that happens.
Yes, it happens.
It does happen, but I think that's that's more about the quality of the person than it is more about the laws and the situation. If you have a good quality person who's honorable and who has the fear of God in them, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. How could a Christian woman do that to her Christian husband? How could they do that? I just
No, some of the women, even though they're very
Religious.
religious, they can do that. It depends on the person.
right.
Yeah, everybody can do that.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on the person that the background,
Right.
and then the bad influence, just
Yeah.
something toxic people.
Yeah.
So
And I understand it. But
yeah.
I don't know your name, C.
Kaparn.
Kaparn, yes. But thank you for that comment. And that's very words. Those are wise words. I don't
I don't
discount
know.
your words at all.
Yeah.
Trying to see if there's any more comments.
Yeah,
No,
that's
that's it. So we can wrap it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Breakfast was absolutely amazing. Amazing, honey. It was so good.
You're welcome.
But, life is good. And life is short.
Correct.
I think as you and your wife have a son, it would all go to him.
No, that's
Oh, that was different. Oh, down here. Your wife is a lovely woman. Yes. Yes. That's how I fell in love with her. I tell them that we used to talk every day, 2 times a day. At the end of your day and the beginning of my day, and at the end of your day and the beginning of my day. So every day we'd talk for several hours. And plus I saw her videos. She didn't know it, but I was watching.
By this month last year, I have no idea.
She had no
about
idea.
You. I don't know you. I don't know you.
And I knew a lot about her because I was watching the video. Because she had hundreds of videos out there with Mike and then without Mike. And, so I was just every day after work, I would go to work during the day. Well, I'd stay at home because I worked from home at Zoom. And I would get done with work. I'd get dinner set up and say, okay, what's happening in the life of this woman in the Philippines? And I'd watch a few videos. It was my entertainment. And little did she know.
Then he was, he's sent me an email that to, offer the help. I said, no, sir, I don't know you. I'm fine. I am content. And I'm fine. I don't need, I don't need someone that, just jump over there to the email and then offer. So they can
Well, there were guys reaching out to you.
Yes, a lot.
There were guys reaching out to you, sending you things and whatever, and
Yeah.
trying to catch you and so.
Well, I'm not the material thing,
Right.
I just there are just actually.
And CPAM, no offense was taken. Just your words of wisdom, but I think if you have the right person and you're with the right person, those concerns, and you have the right family too, because I understand there's dynamics there, and I totally feel blessed with her and her family. So I do think that there's a lot of legacy and things that we can do as a couple, especially with her children and with her family. And that's all I want to do. Is I just want to be a good addition. I want to be here in the Philippines. I want to be productive. I want to be someone who brings good and not bad. So in all things. So if we help somebody on the side of it doesn't have to be just with her family. We'll help her family, but if we see somebody on the side of the road that needs something, we'll help if we can, or do something. That's just the way that I always want to live my life.
Mm-hmm.
And she
Well,
feels the same way.
We did that sometimes.
Yeah.
We just, small
course.
things is a big things for them. So you share your blessings.
Dale, which province do you guys live? We live in Negros Occidental. We're up outside of Bacolod. So we're just across the strait, the Gomera Strait from Iloilo. It's just south of that is Bacolod. And we're just on the outside of Bacolod, so in Negros Occidental.
Yeah.
And her family lives down in the central part of the island.
South,
So
yeah.
about 3 hours from here, south. So it's a long drive to get there, but they're close enough that we can go there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I feel blessed for this opportunity to be in this stage of my life, because I'm recently retired. I retired last September, so I'm still getting used to not working. I mean, I'm used to getting up and going to work every day, and you know, going through all the things about work and all that stuff. So it's nice to
Ah,
be in this mode.
it's from Canlaon. My parents, that's their hometown,
Ah,
from Canlaon.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a small world.
Oh, your fiance is from there. Wow.
Yeah, my fiance. Yeah, he said my
Yeah,
fiance
yeah.
from
That's
Canlaon.
good.
So, which is the volcano, close to volcano.
Uh-huh.
So, as you know, sir, we speaking. I mean, we're speaking very soft because you know this island people are soft spoken. Cebu is different also dialect, which is Cebuano, and they have you know a different what's this what's that different sounds.
Yeah, different pronunciation and
Yeah,
vowels and
pronounce,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, just a little
But
different.
in north of here, this island is also some of them is Cebuano.
Or Tagalog or something. Or,
Yeah, actually, we are not really Bisaya. Bisaya is, yeah, Davao, Mindanao, you know, a portion of it. But us here is Hiligaynon, actually. Hiligaynon.
what does he say?
Ilonggo.
Bisaya.
Where
I want.
Hiligaynon is like sounds Ilonggo, like Iloilo.
I want some Bisaya. You guys are not Buang. What's the Buang?
That's bad.
Oh.
The buang is crazy,
Oh.
right?
You guys are not Buang. No, I guess we're not Buang.
No,
right?
we're
Okay,
not. We're
okay.
not crazy.
Okay,
we're not
yes.
crazy. Buang is crazy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we're not crazy. No.
Why do you mean that? Why do you? Is it your fiance is is buang?
And then she can do maybe a short
Crazy,
one time
Lord.
here of going around, because the yard is in a couple of days. A lot of the new flowers are going to be blooming, so she can go through and give you guys an update. But I'm looking at the tomatoes growing really good.
Oh yeah,
and-
lots of
and
fruits already.
Lots of vegetables are coming through, so she's done a great job already in this little bit of time. So, oh, just a joke. Yeah, that's fine. That's the way we took it. Yeah, yeah, we're not crazy. Yeah, well, we're crazy in love with each other, but
Oh
that's,
yeah, that's it.
So I'm buang about her. Yes, but yes, it's no, it's good. We're very blessed to have each other. We have a simple life, and that's what I love. I mean, we'll go out, but you know, we're just happy being here together, working in the garden, working in the yard, taking care of the dogs. Just kind of boring stuff, but she's okay with that, and I'm okay with that. And
That's not not a boring.
It's not boring,
It's
no.
for me. I am enjoy. Actually, I'm enjoy to stay here in the house. Enjoy to taking care. You know things, plants and doing things instead to travel. I am not a travel person.
but we will at some point. We'll do
Oh
something.
yeah, we can do that, but not really like
All the time.
outdoor.
Yes.
You know, I don't like going out always to do such a shopping or do that. Going out, hang around. No.
Yep. But anyway, guys, there'll be more videos coming. We'll be updates on the yard and the plants, and we'll do updates on the budget at some point. But for now, it's just an update on our marriage being done. And
We're married. I don't have.
May order ka?
Pila?
14 ko ng bridal.
400?
14.
Ah,
okay, honey.
I have money.
Why don't you shut off the bye everybody. We will.
I'll do
I'll
it.
tell you what. We'll talk for a second. She's going to give some money for.
Dahil lang tayo.
Thanks everyone. It's been great. Come here, Waji. Come sit down. Say hello. Sit down next to me. You want to sit down next to me? Come sit next to me. You don't want to? Okay. He's shy. He doesn't want to
Hey,
come on
Daya.
camera. But we're
414
just trying to do the best we can as a couple, and I want to be.
I love you.
as best I can from a foreigner being here. I know this is not my country. I know this is going to be my home because I'm getting a 13A visa. I'm married to someone local here, but I understand it's not natively my home, so I'm going to be as respectful as I can because I love it here and I love the people here, and I want to be someone that is good here. I want them to see that, and the people and the community and everything. So we'll just keep trying to do life the best we can, right? Is everything
Yes.
okay?
Yeah, I had a parcel.
Oh, a parcel. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, good.
Something that I get online.
Ah, okay.
All right, guys. So
Yeah.
thank you for being here with us and for more than an hour. And see you next time. Thank you so much.
Yeah, just give you guys an update on what's going on. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, baby.